Welcome to Megapath Presents. Today in the review room we're going to take a look at this impressive Kyle Barnes Skybound exclusive action figure from the hit Cinemax TV show made by McFarlane Toys. It's available to buy now only at Skybound.com, and a link will be down in that video description. You have a choice between buying the regular, which we're going to take a look at in this video, and then you can buy the bloody variant, which has a little bit of blood splatter on his face and a lot on his clothing. First, let's take a peek at the box. I love how minimal this is. There's just an Outcast logo, the name on the side of the box, and up on top is a photo variant, done in the same style as the very first comic cover. Now, the back side, I always complain, has too much advertising back here. We have a cool picture, a logo, some information, and that's it. Now, for the new collectors, a cool trick is to cut the sides there, the bottom there, making a trap door. That way you can slide the plastic coffin out easily, and then when you want to redisplay them back in package, you can simply just put it back in the package, and there you go. You can display him in box still, and this is perfect for reviewers as well. Now, from the stand up, this figure looks great. It has good detail in the boots, excellent coloring, and realistic folds in the pants. He has a balled up fist and the other hand is open, with removable black element that is always surrounding, always haunting Kyle Barnes. Lastly, and most impressive, the sculpt, paint, and overall detail in his face. So we're going to take Kyle Barnes here and remove the black element, which is just plugged in his back. Now, it's real tight the first time you do it, but it should be no problem once you do it a couple times. Now, this black element is amazing. I truly love what they did here with the black. Very dark, very detailed. And when it comes away, the further away it gets, the more translucent some of the fingers or the arms or the limbs, let's call it, the more translucent it gets, especially this one here. It looks like a hand. And this is the one I love the most because it looks like it's wrapping around his head when you put it on, and it's about to grab the back of his head, like drawing him in close to it. It's just creepy. But overall, this black element is fantastic, and it is very flexible too. You could see it here, it just scrunches up. But the detail, the coloring, I think it's an overall win, and it was a great decision to include this in the overall product, in the final product. Look at it, they got this nice detail, and it's iconic in the show. So this was an overall great idea. Now, Kyle Barnes just has a simple hoodie, but you can tell with the amazing detail and sculpt, I mean the accuracy on the face, blows some of the other figures out of the water that the same company makes. I truly think they did a fantastic job on this figure, and I thought this would be the more plain figures to come out to review, to be honest. But I was blown away with the detail, especially in the eyes. If I could get close up here, I'm hoping the camera can really show you what I see in person. The green eyes, it's amazing. The detail with the hair, the face, the likeness, from the head down, you got a hoodie, a simple hoodie, but it fits the character. There's the peg hole right here in the back that you can see the black element plugs into. It's only in one spot. Let's look down at the jeans. Great coloring all the way down to the boots here. And as far as the articulation goes, he has a little bit of articulation at the ankle. It isn't much. Even when you work on it a little bit, you can't get a whole lot to move around on his ankle. His knee does bend a little bit here. Nothing too impressive, but you get some articulation. It does swivel around though, helping you out when you need to pose him, and he does have the Jean-Claude Van Damme jump split kick articulation, and his leg moves forward about that much right there and just a tiny bit backwards. I mean a little bit, or at least it's a bit stiff on mine. Now, as far as rotating him at the hips, he has pretty decent rotation, so maybe you can get some different poses with him. Now, moving forward both legs, he can probably sit down, not the best, and if he was gonna sit down in a chair, like, it's not all that great. The waist is real easy. There is no articulation at the waist at all. His arms come up a little bit. It's kind of hindered at the top, but it's a decent amount. And his arm does swivel around pretty good. And this is the biggest disappointment in my opinion. He's barely got any articulation at the elbow. It's really hindered by his hoodie. And it does swivel around pretty good, allowing you to get at least some type of posing abilities with that swivel. The wrist swivels perfectly, and we got some really good articulation there with the hinge at the wrist. Same thing with the open hand. Now these fingers on the open hand are really flexible, so you could probably get a gun in there if you really wanted to. Same thing, got some nice wrist swivel as well as hinge on that wrist, so good wrist movement. Now we can look down that much, up that much, and then side to side pretty good. Now this is what I want you guys to check out. This is the hand that looks like it's actually trying to circle around and grab him by the back of the head once you put this black element. Can you see the fingers there? It truly looks like they tried to hide the form of a hand in the black element, that transparent part. And I love that. It's one of my favorite parts of this piece because it's hidden in the figure and you don't really notice it the first time you look at it, but once you notice it, you can't take your eyes off it. But my final thoughts, this is a must-have for a fan and collector of Cinemax Outcast. I think Kyle Barnes being the lead character, the black element probably being one of the most mysterious elements of the show. Both him and the element are iconic and awesome and very, very well done in this figure form. So get yours today.
Subscribe now.